Making this video is strictly about my rental situation, and this is going to be about Furnished Finder and trying to piece together how I ran the checks through the last two customers. I should have documented it immediately when I did it because there are so many step-by-step errors that I made the second time around, especially because the second time I made a lot of mistakes. The first time the customer was a little bit easier. The second time the customer, I wouldn't say they had some demands, but they wanted to push the way that the check had gone. And I made a mistake. I don't remember what I did. And I put some weird things in the contract by clicking some boxes that I put. One thing I put in the rental agreement is that the renter will be responsible for the property tax. I don't even know how I clicked that into the lease. So when they came back, they're like, hey, you're gonna have to redo this. But what makes it even worse is, yeah, sure, I put that into the lease, but from Furnished Finder side, I actually finalized that lease. So they had to go into the system and undo that. So there's a way of doing the lease and then just having it as, like a draft and giving it to the customer as a draft. And I gave it to them as a finalized version. So I'm glad that Furnished Finder was able to undo what I did. But so I need to go back through all my notes, and this is especially for next year when we're talking to the next set of customers, and how we're gonna go over payment. What I'm gonna try to do this next time is I'm gonna try to get them to deposit the money into the bank account physically at my branch, and I'm gonna put into the lease. I'll give them a $50 discount every month that they do that. So that's something I'm gonna have to remember as well. Furnish Finder is nice. It has a lot of perks. It has a few drawbacks, and it's all dependent on how the customer wants to pay for rent. And some customers might want to do it credit card, which has drawbacks in the sense that if they do want to, if they want to challenge the charge and they're able to get it returned on your end, that's it's not all that great. But if the customer wants to pay directly to you via check straight into your bank account, that poses another issue to where you're going to have to claim that in taxes. So you just can't have rent going straight into your bank account and at the end of the year being like, oh, what? There's nothing to see here, IRS. Nothing to see over here at this bank account. So when January comes this year, I'm going to start prepping all of my my taxes. I'm going to have to figure out how to pay taxes on that with my accountant. So one of the reasons I'm making this YouTube channel is to just brain dump all of the information from Furnished Finder onto the YouTube channel. And one of the reasons I'm putting in the background as this 661 phone number is because I needed to reach out to Furnished Finder a few times before signing this lease. And going onto their website, it was difficult. I just straight Googled how to get a hold of Furnished Finder, and this is the website. This is the phone number that came up. So I want to keep that top of mind. I actually probably have more notes in my phone that I'm going to add to this video. All right, we made a rental data YouTube channel, and we need to go over all the things that so that next time we know the process. Because we've already forgotten the process. And just for a few notes, we have Katie that left us a message. Hello, just waking up. Figured I'm overseas right now. Rent is this much. What's my next move? I've left you a message. I'm waiting to hear back on the Furnished Finder. Left you a message. They want me to run a screen using the rental address as my main address. Okay, that's one of the things too. They don't want you to use your home address as a rental address. Just ignore that, Steve. Thanks for the update. We're looking forward to finalizing this. We love your home. It's a perfect fit for us, Katie. Sorry. Also, Steve, talk to Rich, to talk to the very person that you're renting the home to. This could bite you in the ass right now. It'll definitely bite you in the ass later. Who's Richard? My significant over 16 years. Unless we're having a second thoughts. All right, and then we do a screen, key check screen, monthly rent. They want a move-in date. Okay, so we do the move-in date. Sounds good. Sent insurance request. So we have a copy of the insurance that I sent to Katie Contact insurance company, good stuff. Then what? Okay, check system. I'll do the prompt eventually. I'll make a payment. So that's another thing too that you need to put in this deal is you have to do not send the signed rental agreement. Send them a copy of the rental agreement after the check. So once you've done the check and once you've approved the check to Stevie, you'll see the email come through. There's nothing for them to do on their side. At that point, you'll see it and you'll be like, okay, and then you'll start the key check rental portion. So yeah, that will be your video. Is I'm making this video, actually I'm making it more for myself just so that we can walk you through the process. And compare it to the other videos of YouTube, especially there's a bald guy that does it. I don't know his name. You'll find it when you have to re-look it up. But compare it to all the things on how they give advice on how to run a background check and sign up a Furnished Finder client. So one thing to keep in mind when you're putting the rental agreement together from the Furnished Finder website is that it has you click on there what address. It doesn't say on there what address you would like to have them mail the rental check to, but that's basically what they're saying. I forget exactly how they say it, but they say, what address would you like to put on the lease? And don't put the actual address of the place that they're staying in. And the reason they're saying that is because on the lease, they're saying mail the check to the address on the lease. And if they're staying at the house, they're not going to mail it to the exact house that they're in. And I really tried to hit it home and leave messages for the people, but they forget everything they say and then they go revert back to the lease. So if they have an address on the lease, and the address we should probably put is, and the address that we should put is the co-host's address, Steve, just FYI.